You are listening to the Cue Your Business Success podcast, episode 22. Today, let's answer your biggest questions about getting more consistent clients and better results from your inquiry calls and consultation conversations. Let's get started.
Are you ready to cue your business success? Entrepreneurs and business owners, tune into this podcast for top marketing, sales, and leadership strategies to grow and scale your business. Hosted by Michaela Quilici, award-winning international business growth coach and marketing consultant. Since 2010, Michaela has helped hundreds of business owners navigate their business growth on purpose. She has been featured in Canadian Living Magazine, USA Weekly, and Business Innovators. Michaela is also a contributing author in the best-selling book Conscious Business and a member of the Forbes Coaches Council. If you want to learn some tactics you can put to work in your business today to get noticed, get clients, and get profitable, listen to this episode. And if you want to move even faster, connect with Michaela directly at michaelaquilici.com. Here's Michaela.
Sales is a science that has been studied and well defined. And in this episode, I will give you a simple blueprint for creating sales activities that work. But first, I want to tell you about my client, Catherine. So Catherine, like many passionate entrepreneurs, has a high quality service offerings, but for some reason, she struggles to get clients to say yes to working with her. She has inconsistent sales from discovery calls, and she gets a lot of hugs but no credit cards from her speaking engagements. Does any of that sound familiar? Frustrated with her slow progress, Catherine turned to me for help, thinking that she must really have a problem with her marketing. That problem with marketing was turning into a very big revenue problem for her. Low sales, no profit, not being able to pay herself enough, not being able to make the kind of impact that she wanted to make in the world with her gifts. And the longer she let this go on, the more her confidence was eroding and her frustration building. And in actuality, that mistake was costing Catherine her livelihood. She started questioning whether or not she wanted to continue with her business because she felt the model was broken. And she was losing steam, quite frankly. In fact, it wasn't a problem with her marketing at all. It was actually a sales problem. And unfortunately, this is a really common issue that I see when clients first come to work with me. Low conversion rates, losing out on deals to the competition, and not getting enough clients. So when your business is stuck, I see many business owners jump to conclusions about what they think the nature of the problem is. They actually identify symptoms of the problem and how it's showing up for them in their business rather than the root cause. The result of this is that it leads them in the wrong direction when looking for a solution to their pain point. But before you lose confidence and change your business model because you feel things just aren't working, in this episode, I unpack the 7 steps to every sale that you need to know to increase your conversions, create happy customers, and, quite frankly, a more fulfilling business for yourself. There is a buying journey that every customer goes through. And when you understand how that journey works, you can plan your marketing and sales activities to support each stage of that journey, rather than do things that will sabotage or perhaps work against the customer's natural rhythm of buying. So first, you attract potential leads. These are prospects with a good marketing funnel, and then you convert those leads into paying customers. Chet Holmes, author of the national best-selling book, The Ultimate Sales Machine, laid out the 7 key steps to every sale. Number 1 is to establish rapport. This is how you are creating the know, like, and trust factor and the respect factor through a conversation and a connection with a prospect. If you can establish rapport well, you are 40% of your way to closing the sale. Rapport is a really, really critical step in the sales process. Step 2 is finding the need. This is your ability to ask intentional questions for the prospect for them to express their felt need. Step 3 is building value. by using an education-based marketing approach. You need to be an expert in your market, not just in the products that you sell. You'll want to use market data, not product data, to build value around you and your company so that you can bridge into step 4, which is creating desire. You create desire by motivating your buyer using a combination of problems and solutions. Keep in mind that people are more motivated to solve a pain. So people will move away from problems and discomfort toward a solution. So once you show them the problems and paint the picture of their wonderful future with your products or services, you will create desire. Don't tell them what it is, tell them why they need it. Then comes overcoming objections. Objections are simply opportunities for more clarification. It's also an opportunity to close. Bridging into step 6, which is closing the sale. And remember, you have to ask for the sale. And then we move into step 7, which is actually the follow-up. Did you know that 17% of follow-ups happen in the next 90 days and 42% happen over the next 2 years? But only if you have a value-adding nurture sequence or cadence in place. The more shocking news is that 75% of salespeople never follow up, or they stop after the first follow-up. And yet 80% of sales are made between the 5th and 12th contact. So it's really important that you have a strategy in place, that you have a communication cadence in place, so you can really be super intentional with implementing a marketing and sales process so that you can get traction with your marketing and sales. So if your prospects are not stepping into working with you, here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Number 1, are you asking great questions? Establishing rapport, building questions to make a connection and find common interests, and asking about their need is super critical. Question number 2, are you interested? So be empathetic and care about your prospect. Be more interested in them than anyone else has ever been, and do it genuinely. And question number 3, are you qualifying your buyer? Qualifying a buyer means finding out what they're looking for and what factors will influence them to buy. Find out what problem or pain point that they have, why it's important for them to talk to you about it right now, and the impact of not solving that pain will have on their business. A qualified buyer has to have budget, authority, need, and time or urgency for finding that solution. When I work with my private coaching clients, we co-create their overall marketing and sales strategy to better navigate their business development activities with more clarity and confidence, all while developing a business that's in alignment to who you are. Like I did with Catherine in the earlier example. So this is what she said about our work together. We worked together over several months where her biggest issue is really talking about the multiple services, being clear and organized in her own mind, and being able to verbally and on her website talk about the very different services that she has. So we fine-tuned those services. Then we worked on the flow, not just with the services, but right back to the inquiry calls. And she found that consistently using a script to keep her and her clients focused was really, really helpful. She said if the client gets off track or I forget to explain something, the conversation can go really poorly. So we created scripts that also helped her to keep her in charge of the conversation, so she was showing up as an expert and as a leader. Throughout the process, she actually realized that it was okay to cultivate sales and business as gentle, respectful, and quite candidly without a sticky resonance of sales. And she's now closing about 85% of her inquiries these days because she's clear about what she has to offer and what she needs to do to step her clients through a conversation to the close. And this was up from about 40-50%. So I'm curious to know from you, what's your biggest question when it comes to attracting or converting your sales leads into customers? Stop giving it all away and start getting clients to say yes. I created a free guide to help you successfully navigate the sales conversation so you can stop chasing prospects and start magnetizing qualified buyers who will jump at the chance to work with you without hassles, stalls, or discounts. Once you unpack this guide, you'll be able to attract your ideal clients to your coaching and consulting business without being salesy and increase your conversion rates by up to 80%. You'll learn a process to stop chasing target markets and start qualifying your buyers. You'll discover how to navigate a successful sales conversation with the cheat sheet enclosed. You'll learn 2 key components for inspiring prospects to jump at the chance to work with you and some simple questions to ask during a consultation that require no selling whatsoever. So if this sounds good to you, grab my free guide at michaelaquilici.com/